Hello everybody, Russian Batman back with another custom showcase here. This one's a little bit different. These aren't actually, these are kind of more, kind of original designs for characters. But yeah, so the characters I have to show off is, these are Mandalorian characters, but they're like, it's Mando and Grogu. But it's like, this is like kind of an imaginary thing, like imagining them in like the far future, right? Like where Grogu's all grown up. So yeah, and I've seen, tons of people do fan art of like, what would Mandalorian Grogu look like? Because Grogu's obviously gonna have to wear a helmet at some point when he can speak the creed and whatnot. So this is what I did. First of all, I made an to go with old Grogu, I made an older Mando. So I imagine him in my head canon. This is Mando's basically already retired, right? He probably gave up a lot of his Beskar, and he's just kind of. So I gave him this little cane made of that one droid, and he has a little blaster, and he also lost his leg. How did he lose his leg? I don't know. You would have to ask him. Also, it's a little bit tricky to make an older looking Mando because you can't really show that he has a beard or nothing. That's the best way to make someone look old. Just give him a beard. But yeah, but to kind of represent how old he is, I did rust up his Beskar, so I added some rust on there. I don't know if Beskar actually does rust in like the canon, but I imagine since it's metal, it can rust. So that's why I gave him a rusty helmet. And yeah, now obviously he doesn't have to have like, he can still clean up his helmet and still wear armor when he's old. So I guess he doesn't have to look different. But I want to differentiate him from the regular Mando. Then obviously gave him this tattered cape. So yeah, so I imagine he's like retired, living like not in the desert, but he's living that one planet probably. And yeah, doesn't really go on adventures anymore. Mostly Grogu does that. Speaking of Grogu, here is Grogu. I am really happy how this guy turned out. So this is, imagining, like I said, an adult Grogu, fully grown, not as old as like Yoda, but, or maybe as old as Yoda. See here, I gave him this little Force ability. I guess is like the best representation of the Force. But I'm just gonna get rid of that just to show you some what else he got. Also, he has this gun, which is kind of like a smaller version of Mando's like weird pronged rifle. So I wanted to give him that. As you can see here, I'm just gonna get rid of that for now. Also, another thing I did give him, I thought would look funny. I made this so he can he can grab a frog with the Force. So yeah, that was just a little funny thing. But you see here, the way I made this is actually just, I took a Yoda head and just cut off a lot of it and then stuck a Mandalorian helmet over it. And then obviously cut out room for the ears. So yeah, so in this version of Grogu, I know some people like to make the helmet like where it's armor over the ears. I made the ears exposed because, I mean, he still has to hear things. So yeah, that's how I did that. Also, I added lime green detailing. I know a lot of people, when they make a Grogu Mandalorian, they like to make the helmet all silver. But I mean, Mando's really the only one who does that. A lot of other Mandalorians add like a lot of color to their helmet, so I wanted to do that with Grogu. I still has a good amount of silver on there, just because I imagine he's probably inspired by his father, the Din Djarin. But I added some lime green just to make it a little bit more unique and not just look like a Mandalorian helmet. Oh, just like Din Djarin's helmet. However, I did add this like crest on the top or whatever you call that and the helmet. Also, he has this scarf kind of going on. This just to kind of represent what he would wear. As Grogu would wear that weird poncho with the. It's not a scarf, but it's like the overhang of the jacket. I don't know if this would be a scarf or what it would be, but still wanted to add that on there just to give it some more Grogu-esque. Like I said, I didn't just want to take a Mandalorian, like I didn't want to take like a Din Djarin and just add a Mandalorian head. I wanted to make it a little bit more different. Also, you can see he has a lot of chainmail. This is kind of what I alluded to in my last custom video. The character I added a lot of chainmail to. So you can see here his arms has that chainmail. The back, ignore the back for now. The back is not important. But you can see here he has the chainmail design. I think it looked pretty good. But yeah, and he has the wrist thing. So that's why I didn't add any shoulder pads, because he has chainmail already. He's pretty much fine. However, I did also add the main torso plate. Maybe that was given to him by Din Djarin. Maybe that could be his. Also gave him this 3D belt. This is a Batman belt, but in brown, which just comes in sets. And then short legs. I debated on giving him short legs or mid legs, but I thought since Yoda has short legs, and I imagine he probably wouldn't grow any larger than, Yoda. So I gave him the short legs, but I didn't want to make him any small. Like I said, I did consider making him taller because I don't know, maybe the Yoda species can be taller, and Yoda is just, you know, a short king exception to the rule. But yeah, and so that's my custom. That's all I really got. But I'm really happy how this kind of hypothetical turned out. I think design turned out really nice. I would really like to see what the official version would look like. I kind of don't want to see, like, if I'm being honest, the next season of Mando, if they're making another one, I want that to be like in the far future. I kind of don't want to see like Grogu as a baby anymore. I'm gonna be honest. I want to see some development for Grogu. Like he has been the exact same for like how many seasons now? Like, yeah, 3 seasons, and I don't know. It's kind of getting a little bit annoying. I would like to see him grow up. But yes, that's why I made these. So yeah, if you like the video, leave a like, subscribe, and go watch the 2011 film Rango. It's a good film, and yeah, you have a nice one. I don't know what else you want me to say. Like, I already said goodbye. Like, just click off. Come on, you can watch my other videos. They're pretty good. Yeah, and I mean.